My name is Faustus. I was a man of Wittenberg, a scholar of great renown and a master of the highest disciplines known to mankind. I dissected the human body to understand medicine. I argued the intricate laws of Justinian. I debated the rigid logic of Aristotle, and I studied the divine scriptures. Yet, as I sat in my study, surrounded by towering piles of parchment and leather-bound tomes, a bitter realization took root in my heart. These pursuits were base, trivial, and unworthy of a mind like mine. Logic was meant for disputation, medicine for healing the sick, law for petty squabbles, and divinity. Divinity was the basest of all, for it told me that all men sin, and the wages of sin is death. I wanted more. I wanted to be a god. I wanted to command the elements, to reshape the world, to have kings and emperors bow to my will. A sound magician is a mighty god, I whispered to the empty room. And so, I turned my back on the light of heaven and embraced the dark, intoxicating art of necromancy. My colleagues, Valdez and Cornelius, men of lesser talent but equal ambition, encouraged my descent. They spoke of the limitless power that awaited me. But it was my servant, the clever and ambitious Wagner, who truly understood my genius, for I soon taught him the rudiments of magic, elevating him from a mere servant to an apprentice of the dark arts. Alone in my study, I drew a circle in the dust. I chanted the forbidden Latin incantations, calling upon the princes of hell. The earth trembled. The air grew thick with the stench of sulfur. And then he appeared. He was not the terrifying horned beast I expected. He was Mephistopheles. He looked like a fallen prince, his face bearing the haunting, tragic beauty of an angel who had seen the face of God and been cast into the abyss. "Who commanded thee to come?" I demanded, trying to mask my trembling voice. "Oh, by aspiring pride and insolence," Mephistopheles replied, his voice a smooth velvet poison, "for which God threw him from the face of heaven." I asked him who his master was. "Lucifer," he said. And when I asked why Lucifer was not with him, Mephistopheles' eyes darkened with an eternal quiet agony. "Oh, Adam's fall is to me less grievous than my endless torment in hell. Hell hath no limits, nor is circumscribed in one self-place. But where we are is hell, and where hell is, there must we ever be." His despair should have warned me. It should have sent me running to the confessional. But my ambition was a blinding fire. I offered him my soul in exchange for 24 years of absolute power, of servitude, of every pleasure my heart could desire. He agreed, but only on the condition that I sign a deed in my own blood. I pricked my arm. The blood welled up, dark and thick. But as I brought the quill to the parchment, my arm seized. The blood congealed. I heated it over a flame, and as I wrote, words suddenly appeared on my flesh, seared into my skin. Homo fuge. Man, fly. I ignored the warning. I signed the deed. Lucifer himself appeared to claim me, and Mephistopheles handed me a book of spells. I was bound. The clock of my damnation had begun to tick. For the next 24 years, I had the world at my feet, and I squandered it. I possessed the power to reshape the cosmos, yet I used it for parlor tricks and petty pranks. I traveled to Rome and made the Pope's food and wine vanish into thin air, striking the Holy Father with a box on the ear. I traveled to Germany and entertained Emperor Charles V by conjuring the spirits of Alexander the Great and his paramour. I traveled to Van Holt and conjured fresh grapes in the dead of winter for a pregnant duchess. I had the power of a god, and I used it like a jester. My friends, the scholars of Wittenberg, watched me with growing horror. They saw the dark shadow that clung to me. They begged me to abandon my magic, to repent, to seek God's mercy. But I was too proud and too terrified. When I asked Mephistopheles for a wife, to bind me to the mortal world, he sneered. Marriage was a holy sacrament, he said. Instead, he brought me a succubus in the shape of Helen of Troy. She was breathtaking, a phantom of flesh and fire. I looked upon her and spoke the words that would seal my eternal fate. Was this the face that launched 1,000 ships and burnt the topless towers of Ilium? Sweet Helen, make me immortal with a kiss. I kissed her lips, and in that moment I felt my soul being sucked from my body. I was damning myself for an illusion. And then, the 24 years were over. The final night arrived. The air in my study was freezing. The scholars sat with me, trembling, trying to comfort me, but I could only stare at the clock. The good angel appeared one last time, his voice a gentle, desperate whisper. "O Faustus, lay that damned book aside, and gaze not on it, lest it tempt thy soul, and heap God's heavy wrath upon thy head. Read the scriptures." But the evil angel hissed in my ear, "No, Faustus. Think of honor and of wealth." An old man, a beacon of pure, uncorrupted faith, entered my room. He wept for me. He told me he saw an angel hovering over my head, holding a vial of God's mercy, ready to pour it out if I would just turn my eyes to heaven. "Repent," the old man cried. "I will follow thee to the ends of the earth." For a fleeting, agonizing second, I wanted to. I wanted to run after him. I opened my mouth to call out, to ask for salvation. But Mephistopheles stepped from the shadows, his eyes burning with a terrifying, possessive fury. He threatened to tear me to pieces if I repented, and in that moment the ultimate tragedy of my soul was revealed. I was not just bound by a contract, I was bound by my own despair. I believed my sins were too great for God to forgive. "I do repent," I whispered into the dark, "and yet I do despair." The clock struck 11. The scholars fled in terror, unable to bear the horror of what was coming. I was alone. The final hour began. "Oh, I'll leap up to my God," I screamed, my voice cracking. "Who pulls me down?" The clock struck midnight. The earth began to shake. The walls of my study seemed to melt away, revealing the gaping, fiery maw of the abyss. I could hear the howling of the damned, the clanking of infernal chains. "Ugly hell, gape not. Come not, Lucifer. I'll burn my books," I shrieked, scrambling backward, my hands clawing at the stone floor. Ah, Mephistopheles. But he was already there, surrounded by a legion of grinning, horned devils. They did not look like princes now. They looked like butchers. I looked up one last time at the stars, at the beautiful, indifferent universe I had tried to conquer. O soul, be changed into little water drops, and fall into the ocean, ne'er to be found. I sobbed, my voice breaking into 1,000 pieces. My God, look not so fierce on me." The devils lunged. Their cold iron hands seized my arms, my legs, my hair. They dragged me backward, down into the suffocating, eternal dark. The last thing I saw was the dawn breaking over Wittenberg, beautiful and golden, a world I had traded for ashes. And then, the fire took me. And I am Faustus, and I burn, and I burn, and I burn, forever.